Before I start this video, I want to make clear that I'm not making this video just to slander and rip on my internship company, but to inform you guys about companies that take advantage of students and what red flags to watch out for. All names in this video have been changed for the sake of privacy. Hope you enjoy the video. Shouldn't the video be starting right now? Bailey, did you gnaw on the electricity cables again? What the... Who are you? I'm you. You're me? No, I'm you. As in, the new you. Well, you can't be me because I don't have soul-draining eyes. What was that? You look very anime. Well, that's because I'm the newer, improved you. You know, I kinda wanted to change up some things, so... Let me guess, she didn't want me to be white anymore. Well, technically, you still are. These cables are good. Still, this doesn't make any sense. Why are there two me's? Did you seriously not pay attention just now? Don't you mean two yous? Forget it. Fine. You can do this video. I mean you. I mean you. I mean new me. I mean... Okay, I quit. I quit. What was the topic of the video again? Internships, a valuable learning experience where students get the opportunity to gain work experience by supervised training at a specific company. Sometimes you get paid and sometimes not. On paper this sounds all nice and dandy, and to be fair, there are companies that do operate this way. However, with the increasing amount of college students being required to intern, it's no surprise a fair share of companies will exploit such an internship for their own benefits. I mean, it's not like you have to pay interns. They'll be trapped there for a couple months anyway, might as well put them to good use for the company while they're here. Boy, do I regret picking my internship company. Now, to give you a little bit of context, as part of my college curriculum, we're obligated to take a semester-long internship. During this internship, the student is required to spend roughly 50% of their time on a predetermined internship assignment and 50% working alongside company employees. I decided to intern at this video production company that also happened to do some web development related stuff. The company consisted of about 5 employees and a couple of freelancers who drop by every now and then. For the internship assignment, I had to update the company's portfolio page on their website to make it fancier looking, so we could show it off to other companies. All necessary content for this new page would also be produced by me, and all decisions made for the new design had to be backed up by research. My first impression of the company was actually quite positive. I mean, yeah, the boss had unfortunately forgotten about my intake appointment the first time I got there, but stuff like that can happen. The intake conversation I had with Mr. Jack went quite well, and he seemed like a pretty chill person, although he did look a little bit unprofessional in my opinion, him being the boss and everything. No offense, but when I first saw him, I thought he was like the janitor or something because of the way he was dressed. So, do not ask him about the money. Do not ask him about the money. Do not ask him about the money. Will I be paid during this internship? God damn it, you! Well, that really depends on whether you excel our expectations or not. Money? You? An intern? Oh, you greedy piece of shit. If you end up not helping out the company as much as I expect you to, then why should you be of value to me? I decided to start my internship a week early, so I'd have more time to get to that 90-day mark and I'd have shorter days. Because of that, things were still very laid back during my first week. I didn't get my company supervisor appointed to me quite yet though, as there were 3 more interns that would start a week later. So they still had to figure out which employees suited best for each intern. The other interns turned out to be very nice and we got along very well. During this week, Mr. Jack insisted we'd study the company manual to the point where we'd instinctually know all workflow procedures. Or well, that kinda was the boss's intention, which I get, but a little unreasonable to get pissed as soon as an intern doesn't follow the manual to a T. So to start things off, because this company lacked a dishwasher, the employees and interns had to take turns doing dishes. This would be tracked using a point system on a piece of paper that was stuck to the wall. Turns out the dishes would usually pile up to the point where Mount McDish Tower would spawn onto the kitchen counter. So one day our boss dropped a message in the company group chat stating the following. I notice not everyone has gotten used to the habit of cleaning up the dishes yet. Those who don't have 22 points by Christmas drink on December 22nd are obligated to pay for drinks and food on behalf of all employees. Well, better start washing. No way in hell I'm paying for their expenses. You calm down, it's probably just a joke. Besides, even if you have to pay, it's only a couple bucks. Who cares? That is exactly what he wants you to think. Now listen. I don't care that it's a couple bucks. Do you realize he is trying to make unpaid interns pay for something that should be an event dedicated to showing gratitude towards his people that do work for his company? Interns who dedicate time and effort to company assignments for actual damn clients free of charge. And yet he wants us to pay. Can you please stop shouting? During the first few weeks, I mainly focused on getting clear what exactly the company expected of me regarding the assignment, doing some general research about the company, and setting up a planning for my internship assignment. Naturally, I wanted to discuss my findings with my supervisor and boss during an appointment. Well, big surprise! They cancelled last minute because of a client. And again, and again, and again. After many attempts, I finally got to have a talk with Mr. Jack. Sir, I made a planning for the assignment, and I'm afraid I won't be able to fully complete— Say what? Crap! I mean, I probably won't have enough time to create all necessary Are you sure? There's plenty of past interns that had way bigger projects than yours. And they managed just fine. It's all about organizing your time as efficient as possible. It's not like I won't try to get it finished in time, because I really do want to get this project finished. I'm just trying to set some expectations so you won't be disappointed. And then what happens? What happens when you're done with your internship? Who's going to finish that project? Isn't that your responsibility? Point in case, he really wanted me to get this project finished. Why? Well, looking back, I can tell you it's probably because he'd rather not spend additional money to complete my project. Instead, he'd rather have the full free package. I mean, as long as you threaten your interns with bad performance grades, they'll do anything you say. Now, this may sound a little silly, but that conversation stressed me out a lot because I was certain I was not going to be able to live up to his expectations, which kind of made me feel like I was a bad intern. But eventually I convinced myself I shouldn't worry too much whether I did or did not finish the entire project during my internship, because all that mattered to college is the progress I made and that I could substantiate my choices. During my internship, I also frequently had to help out with some projects within the company itself. In order to make sure I still had enough time to work on my assignment each week, I'd spend the mornings on my assignment and would keep the afternoon free in case the company wanted me to help out with something. This was all neatly listed in my Google Calendar, which was the application the entire company supposedly used to plan stuff and view other schedules. I mean, it clearly said so in the manual. More often than not, the employees would kinda ignore my Google Calendar and would ask me to help with a project whenever they saw fit. Sure, a little annoying, but I didn't really mind as I could easily swap bits of my day around. However, this sometimes led me to being either extremely bored, just working on my assignment the entire day, and working on YouTube videos whenever they weren't paying attention, or me being drowned by company projects. Then why didn't you tell them you were busy? I can't, because I'm a polite, good little intern that doesn't want to complain too much. Aside from behind their backs. One of the first tasks I was given was actually quite simple. All I had to do was compile all footage of a previous project into one long video. Not too hard, you think. Oops. And that's where I'm gonna stop the story for this video. Trust me, this is only the start of things, so I apologize if this story wasn't all that spicy so far. If you guys want to hear the continuation to this tale, just be patient, as there will be 2 more videos following this one regarding this story. Kinda tough to cram 5 months of internship into a single video, you know? Anyway, hope you guys liked this first part, and see you in the next video! Bye! I want to give a special shout out to Mysterious Future and Yan Yan for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you guys very much for your support.